Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this beautiful planet of ours. It's Monday morning, guys. Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc. Gonna get some music going here. I have a whole new setup, so I'm excited to talk about that. And I'm also excited to talk about summer is here. So if you could just let me know that you can hear me okay. I have a new microphone set up. I have a new tripod set up for the Facebook Lives and for my travels. And let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're new to Om Times Magazine, Om Times Radio, Metaphysical Mochas with Marc. Going to give you a positive affirmation for the week, but let's get started with a little bit of music. This is called Live in the Moment. All right, thanks for joining me this morning. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. Let's get excited for the week. It's Monday morning. You can see I've got my summer get-up on. I've got my, I like to call this my Rat Pack hat. My cheap Hawaiian silk t-shirt. You can hear me fine. Great. Thank you for letting me know. Like I said, I've got a whole new setup, including a microphone and a tripod for the Facebook Lives and the trips that I'm going to be taking. So I'm going to grab a quick drink. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there yesterday. And today we're going to be talking about summer, because summer is right around the corner, guys, and I love summer. I guess it's all about perception, right? I guess if you're here in the Pacific Northwest of Seattle, Washington, where it rains a lot, we look forward to the summer days and we look forward to the sun. Now, I know when we go down to Mexico, they appreciate the rain. And they only get rain a few days out of the year, and they actually have a huge celebration where they come out and they dance in the rain. So I guess it's really about perception on where you live. And this morning I'm just going to be talking about the Summer Solstice 2017, which happens tomorrow, the 20th, Tuesday. And looks like Facebook is working for us okay. So last week I did a episode on Don't Hate, Meditate, and a lot of folks let me know that they couldn't watch the video. It was actually frozen, so something was going on with Facebook last week, so I do apologize for that. In fact, I think if I still go over the video, it still shows that I'm live, so I've been like live on Facebook for like a week. So but wanted to just say Happy Father's Day, summer solstice right around the corner. Today I wanted to talk about taking the time to disconnect so you can have the time to reconnect through nature. That's why I've got the nature backdrop up, so you can appreciate and get out into the nature wherever you're at in the world. Nature is a big component of healing. It's a big component of connecting. Nature is our greatest teacher, and nature seems to always get things done on its own cycle, and so it's something that we can pay attention to, because we just go. I will be talking a little bit about detox from your device detox, because there's a lot of us that just are solely on our devices all the time. When I take the bus into Seattle for my day job, I just watch people on the bus, and it's just amazing how we don't make connection anymore. Everybody's looking down, everybody's looking into their phone. And so I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to have these Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with me to get you inspired for the week ahead, get you thinking, mindfulness, get you connecting to the spirit world if that's what you'd like to connect with somebody on the other side. Psychic science is just working with all of your different abilities, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, and just having fun with it and not being over analytical or judgmental with it. So good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you so much for joining in. This is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc. It is right before the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and after the longest day of the year, we start going back towards December 21st, which is the winter solstice. So our days actually start getting shorter. But it's when the time changes. It's time to get outside. It's time to celebrate the sun. It's time to celebrate the changing of the seasons, because that's the one thing that I found that is consistent with life, guys, is change. So today I've got my Mexico Rat Pack hat on. Thought I'd be a little crazy. Why not? I've got my cheap Goodwill silk Hawaiian t-shirt on, just to celebrate summer, just to celebrate with you. And today I'm going to give you the positive affirmation, but I want to let you know a couple things that are coming up here. I want to let you know that I've got my class on June 29th, and that's going to be the Spiritual ABCs Level 2 course. And the Level 1 course was last month. You can go to learnitlive.com. You can go to the Om Times Learning Expert platform, and you can check all my classes that I've taught. So last month's class was Spiritual ABCs Level 1. And Level 1, we focus in on awareness to our surroundings, and attunement on how to increase your vibrational energy to connect with things that are seen and unseen. So it was a fun class. You can register for that class. There's still a discount code for that class until the end of this month, and I'll try to paste that into the video after the video is over. And also, I will answer your questions. Because I'm just, there's so many people that are watching or questioning. It's hard for me to actually respond to everybody, but I will respond to your question after the video is over, and I will have my live after show from 8:30 to 9 o'clock here on Facebook Live, but it's over on my business page, the Intuitive Prospector, and that's where you can actually ask questions with me directly, and we can have an interaction over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee for about a half hour, and I can answer some of your questions, and I'll do my best to answer your questions here. But the next class for me is Spiritual ABCs Level 2, and we're going to be focusing on breathing and balance in the spiritual world. Breathing is a big part of doing this work. Finding balance between the physical world and the spiritual world is also very important, something that my mentors have worked with me on the years. So we're going to be doing that class. You can get into the description field of this video, and there's a link to both sites, Learn It Live and Om Times Expert, and you can register for those classes. I think it's $20 to register. It's on demand, so if you can't catch the live recording, you can always hang out with the on-demand version as well, and we have a lot of fun, and you learn a lot. So love teaching, and I love teaching for Om Times. So ABCs, Level 2, balance and breathing. If you're interested, next month will be ABCs Level 3, and that's going to be on connection and consciousness. So it's kind of a three-step process. You can take the classes in any order that you want, but I recommend if you do register with me that you do the Level 1, 2, and 3 so you can get them in order, but you don't have to. When it's on demand, it's your choice. So if you like the videos that we're doing here on Facebook Live through Om Times Magazine, please subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button here. Just click on that, and anytime that I'm live here on Om Times Magazine, you can be notified that we've gone live. And we do a lot of fun stuff over on Om Times Expert Learning Platform. I know that there's some name changes coming for that, and we'll talk about that later on. But there's a lot of great teachers, a lot of great classes, a lot of great things to choose from. So I would check that out if you're interested. And Wednesday, we're going to be on the air over on Om Times Radio. That's our internet show for Inspired Living Radio with Marc and Kim. We're going to be talking about twin flame energy. We have a special guest. It's going to be a two-part series, and it will be a lot of fun. That's at 12 p.m. Pacific. 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a live show, and you can also call in. Just head over to Inspired Living Radio here on Facebook, or marclanehart.com, or the Intuitive Prospector on Facebook. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to give you just some positive affirmations for this week, the week ahead as we approach summer, because summer is here. Last week, I had just a brief synopsis on last week's message was don't hate, meditate. What better way to get out into nature and find your meditation practice, whether it's waking up with the rising of the sun, like I like to do through my Qigong practice, moving energy and feeling my energy and just feeling my surroundings, getting out into nature for a hike, heading up to the hills, connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with yourself, and meditating. Find a meditative practice that will help you on your daily journey. So the positive affirmation for this week, just to get you inspired for Monday morning, because I know I do these on Monday mornings on purpose, because I know that Mondays are probably Monday is probably one of the least favorite days, and so I'm here to inspire you, uplift you, get you thinking, mindfulness, consciousness, spiritual awesomeness, spiritual prospecting, spiritual teacher, spiritual gangster. So today's positive affirmation is, today is a brand new day. My past does not define me. My future is mine to create. And I'll say that one more time. Today is a brand new day. My past does not define me. My future is mine to create. So that's your positive affirmation for this week. Celebrating summer, celebrating the long days. And also wanted to let you know that I'm going to be teaching a class next week, next Thursday on June 29th, Spiritual ABCs, Level 2. I'm excited for tonight because I'm actually going to be a guest speaker at a book club talking about mediumship. And I will do a mediumship discussion here in the future. The Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with me are really the morning of. I start thinking about what I want to talk about, kind of tune in to the consciousness, if you will, through my meditation practice, and just see kind of what the messages are and see what's resonating. And there's a lot going on in the world, between the terrorist acts, between politics, between religion, between 24/7 media, and this is a great way to disconnect from all of that, because the world has a history of being violent. Whether it's politics, religion, terrorist acts, we just have more connection to it through our media, so we're impacted more, and it affects us more. So this is a great time to think about summer, to start planning for a trip, to get out and celebrate your original home, nature. Return to your first home, which is nature. Not the house that you're living in, not my house that I'm here in Seattle, Washington, but to get out into nature and to celebrate the connection of life that's all around you, with the trees, the mountains, the birds, the animals, the rivers, the rocks, you name it. And if somebody's here watching and you've got health issues, even just getting outside, even if you can't make it up to the mountains like you see behind me, getting outside, getting that fresh air, touching a tree, picking up a rock, putting your feet in the grass, what we call earthing, walking around on the earth, that's a great way to get the energy of your system vibrating at the right levels, to help with healing, to help you with your mindfulness and your thought process. And I've learned a lot from nature. It's taught me a lot. It actually helped heal me when I went through a lot of tragedies, and that's why I do the work today. I just didn't wake up one day and say I wanted to be a spiritual psychic medium. I was actually chosen to do this. I had a lot of tragedies with a lot of loss of family members. My brother, both brothers, one to murder, one to brain cancer, my father-in-law. So yesterday is always a tough day because both my real father and my father-in-law, one from cancer, one from MS, are both in spirit. So it's always a tough day for me, and that's why it's important to celebrate your father and celebrate your Father's Day. So big shout out to my stepdad in Spokane, Washington. John, love you. Thank you for being a part of my life. But the tragedies transformed me to triumphantly be here today with you talking about this. And it was through getting out in nature that I really started to realize that there was something bigger than myself. Nature taught that to me. Nature showed me that you can find peace, you can find connection, because I wasn't finding it out in the external world, and especially when you're going through a murder case and you're watching a family member slowly pass away from the horrible effects of multiple sclerosis or brain cancer. It just really it opened me up, and it lit something within my heart, and it was nature that helped me to do that. So I celebrate the solstice, I celebrate the summer solstice, I celebrate the winter solstice, and I celebrate about getting out. And sometimes even as busy as I can get with the radio show and traveling for events, I still am very mindful about getting out, which I even have my own garden now. Eventually, I've mid-40s, I finally planted my first garden. So getting out in my garden, even if it's in my backyard, that's getting out in nature, getting out on the water. For those of you that might like the water, some of you might not like the water. I love the water. My nickname growing up was Fish, because I just love the water. But getting out and connecting with those elements, sitting around a bonfire, just staring into the fire. And some of you may know what I'm talking about. When you're sitting around a fire, you can just get lost in looking at the glow of the fire and your thoughts, and how soothing the fire can be, and sitting around having a nice cold one with friends and family. That's all about getting out in nature. And there's a big healing aspect. I've talked with many people. A lot of books have been written about nature and how it can heal you. So if you're watching today and you need that positive affirmation of what we talked about, which was, today is a brand new day. My past doesn't define me. Yet some people want to hold on to their past as a life sentence. Let that go and know that your future is yours to create. And getting out in nature, especially if you're having health problems right now, get out in nature and change your mindset. So you can start working on having better health, and finish out the spiritual path that you're on, and enjoy the journey that you're on, because we're all spiritual, energetic beings first, here having a physical experience. We're here, with the chaos that's taking place, the drama, the fears. It's all part of the experience of being here. And trust me, it's not easy. Being a light worker, I didn't get here overnight. This has been years in the making for me, through some very dark days, some very dark nights. But I'm here to also let you know that the dawn always comes at the end of the night, and it's always darkest right before the dawn. So stay positive, stay mindful. Hang out with me on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, because I'm here every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We go for about a half hour, and I just give you the message for today. So got a spiritual message for you here, so bear with me here. Want to talk about real quick about forgiveness, using this energy energy of the sun, energy of the long days, to talk about forgiveness. And I think it's important, because if you're holding on to any resentment, or if there's anger that's preventing you from moving forward, getting out into nature and having forgiveness for everything that's happened up to this point. An example I use, I had to forgive the killers of my brother. That doesn't happen overnight, but I can't hold on to that past of their past actions and make it a life sentence for me. So if you're watching today and forgiveness is kind of resonating with you, getting out in nature, celebrating the summer, holding on to any kind of resentment, anger, or the past, all that does is it stifles your spiritual growth. And we always want to be moving forward. I like to say that once growth stops, decay begins. And so we always want to be moving forward, or we always want to be mindful and in the present moment. And that's what a lot of, excuse me, that's what I teach a lot on as a spiritual teacher, as a spiritual gangster. I got my spiritual gangster hat on today, is teaching people to be present, to live in the now. Get out of the past, get out of the future. And I do a lot of spiritual work from metaphysics, psychic readings, mediumship readings, and tonight I'll even be talking at a book club about mediumship and connecting with the unseen world. But through my transformations, I had to bring forgiveness, and I would go out into the nature, out into the mountains, and I would meditate, and I would pray, and I would talk about forgiveness and how could I let that go. It's easier said than done, but slowly I started to forgive, and that helped to heal me and not hold on to the past wounds. So resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of the human emotion that I have felt. And again, you're a physical being, you're an emotional being, you're a mental being, as far as your thoughts, and you're a spiritual being. So when you start to look at all aspects of who you are, not just as a physical being working a 9-to-5 job, letting go of any kind of resentment on the emotional state, it can be very healing, and forgiveness is a big part. So if you're watching this today, you're getting that message about wanting to forgive something, forgive someone, forgive a situation, forgive yourself for what you do, holding on to our mistakes, because we're going to make mistakes, but we're here to learn. And if we learn from our mistakes and move forward, then that's growth, that's spiritual growth. But the act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has literally the capacity to heal you and to transform you. So make nature your stage for healing, whether it's for self, for the world, for others, for family, for friends, and celebrate the summer, because it's here. Summer is here. It happens tomorrow. We like to say in Seattle it actually happens about July 5th, so we have a lot of rain. But again, like I said in the very beginning when we started, it's all about perception. I'm here in Seattle, Washington, and it rains. We just set a record for a 122-year-old record, and it was a tough winter. I think over 6 feet of rain, if I was reading the statistics right. But if I was to go down to Mexico, which I love to go down to San Jose, Los Cabos, we have a place down there that we hang out, and when we take the desert tour and we talk to the local community down there, their perception is it's hot all the time. They appreciate the sun. They have the nice tans, and pigment in the skin is a lot darker because that's where they live in the world. But they appreciate the sun, but I'm sure they get tired of it like we get tired of the rain. So when it rains in the desert for a couple days, they celebrate that. It's like a rain solstice, I guess you could say. And when it's raining in the desert, it's really cool to see, and I would like to experience this. And if you've experienced this, please post your comments. Let me know your thoughts. When it rains in the desert, like you're down in Mexico, all the flowers, all the cactus, all the desert flowers actually open up and take in all that rain. And I guess it's very magical to see all this desert turn into, the Joshua trees and the cactus all bloom for a couple days, and it's very colorful. So I would one day would like to experience that. But the perception of, it's raining down there and it only rains a couple days and then we get the summer. So I guess what I'm trying to say is appreciate what you have. Appreciate the health that you have to enjoy the weather, whether it's rain or shine, but also letting you know that summer solstice is here, starts tomorrow. I'm excited for it, and you should be excited for it. It's a good time to get out in nature. It's a good time to set up a new meditation practice. The cycle is changing, the energy is changing, so pay attention to that. And just get out and connect with nature, and of course forgiveness, because again, holding on to, if you want to grow in your spiritual path, if you want to grow in your spiritual journey, if you want to have better insight to the world around you, then forgiveness. It starts with forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, and forgiveness in what's going on in the world around us. So I'm going to be heading over to my Intuitive Prospector page. I will try to post that here in the comment section with a link to the page for a live Q&A after show. That way I can actually talk with you guys directly, because there's a bunch of people watching, and I know the comments scroll across, but I wanted just to be more mindful on the message for today. So the spirit animal to pay attention for this week, let me see what we get here. Let's pay attention to the elephant. So the elephant for this spiritual totem animal for this week, along with your positive affirmation, talking about the summer solstice 2017, talking about forgiveness, talking about getting out in nature. If the elephant comes up, it's making a point for it to be in some sort of service. So if you see a reminder of an elephant, you see an elephant statue, you see an elephant on the television, it's telling you to appreciate, have an attitude for gratitude for what you do have, rain or shine, like I was just talking about, health or not health, but having gratitude for being here and being in service to something bigger than yourself, like the elephant. So don't let anything stand in the way of attaining your goal, and be mindful of what you want to accomplish this week. Take it one day at a time. Live presently. Be mindful of the little things. Be in the present moment, as I like to say and like to teach. But if the elephant comes up, it just know that you have determination and persistence, and you can overcome all of your challenges just like an elephant. Very strong, but yet very gentle. Maybe even a memory like an elephant. I know they make mention of that. But it's also just, when you see the elephant this week, just use it as a reminder to be in service to something bigger than yourself. That's a big part of doing this work, guys. As a spiritual teacher, as a psychic medium, it's about being in service to others and helping others to heal, to plant seeds for positivity, inspiration, and to go out and make this a better place to be. And what better time than right now? Because, like I said, there's a lot going on in the world, and the change starts with us. If we change, we can make a change in our world. So I want to just thank you for being here this morning. I'm going to put a link in the page here. I'll answer your questions as best I can, and then I will be heading over. Just look for the Intuitive Prospector Facebook page. That's my business page here on Facebook, and I'll be live here in a few minutes after I transition over. But let me know what you think of the new setup. I've now inverted the camera. I've got a microphone, so hopefully the sound is much better. Just kind of, growing as well with this Facebook Live video series that I've been doing for about 9 months now, and just trying to improve the process. Always trying to improve, always moving forward, right, guys? So let's leave off with a little bit of music. I hope that you have a great week. Remember the positive affirmation. I'll say it to you one more time. Today is a brand new day. My past does not define me. My future is mine to create. Pay attention to the elephant, about being in service to others. Have forgiveness for yourself, the world around you, and those in your life. And most importantly, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. I'll be back next Monday morning, and it'll be summer. And we'll have a lot of fun, as we always do. So I'll leave you with some old-time memories. Have a great week, everybody, and smile at a stranger. Take care. Namaste.